Hey, happy Tuesday. It's Jonathan Sewell Sales at Bondi's Enterprise Toyota. Thank you for joining me for my midday minutes. Hopefully this will work out for us. Starting to get a little wind from the storm, I guess. Been pretty strong. As you can see, we've got some clouds moving in. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Extended weekend for us. We were closed yesterday for Labor Day. Hope everybody had a fantastic time with family, friends, and barbecue or grilling out. I kind of gave a little bit of a heads up last week on the topic that I'll be jumping into today, but it looks like you may have to catch it on the playback because for some reason here, Verizon is not wanting to work too well. I hope that's not the storm affecting with things. But I will press on so you can catch it on the playback. So today, this week, I wanted to jump into a conversation about employee engagement. It's something that's important in business today, and something that probably wasn't really thought of or paid much attention to in times past because, there was three simple things, right? You hired someone, they came to work, and, look at there. Maybe I'm back. There's the fist pump guy, Gary Pollard, having some low network connections today for some reason. But wanted to jump into this real introductory topic of employee engagement. In years past, there was only, Gary, how are you today? There was really three facets, maybe four facets to a job. The first one was hire them, they do the work, and they get paid. Of course, those three things led to a fourth thing, because if you were hired and went to work and didn't do your job, you either didn't get paid or you got paid and then were fired. So that was the extent of employee engagement in the past. Well, today it's a little bit different. Today you have to pay attention to employee engagement rates because unemployment is the lowest it's been in years or a long time. And so basically unemployment's to the level where it almost is effectively employment rates are so low that it's almost full employment. So it's one of those things that you've got to pay attention to as administrators, as supervisors. You have to pay attention to your employees and how engaged they are. Now, real quick, to answer the question of what is employee engagement, the definition of employee engagement is a metric or monitoring the amount of commitment, passion, and loyalty that people have for their job and employer, or for their career and their employer. So again, employee engagement, and I apologize for the poor connection today. Employee engagement, to define it, is the metric or the amount of commitment, passion, and loyalty that an employee has for its company, business, or career and job. So when we talk about employee engagement, it's very important that you understand and are aware that with a job market that is busting at the seams, there's people coming and going all the time. Not because they need a job, but because they want a job or are dissatisfied, aka not engaged at their current position or job or business. So again, employee engagement is the amount of commitment, passion, and loyalty that employees have for their company. And if they are jumping back and forth to different places, it's because they are not engaged. They are not engaged. Now, a statistic that I've seen very common over the last several years, and I actually pulled this one off of an article on Forbes.com, only 32% of employees are engaged on average. Love bugs. Only 32% of employees are engaged. Now, the shame of that is that means that 68% are not engaged. So with a job market that's busting at the seams, that means that 68% are not committed, are not passionate, and are not loyal. They could jump ship and leave at any time. And so it's one of those things as businesses, as managers, leaders, administrators, you have to make sure that your employees are engaged. Now that's the magic question, and I'm not going to say that I have the answers for this, but I've defined what employee engagement is. Now what most businesses look at today is they want to figure out how to increase the level of employee engagement. And that's for a completely different conversation than what I'm going to talk about today. But that's the magic question that all businesses want to pay attention to or want to dive down and find those answers. And it's different for different places. That's why it's hard for me to share it in a arena such as this. But I will say that it's really important that, number one, it's two parts. The first part is the employee. The employee has to make a commitment, right? That's part of employee engagement. The employee has to make a commitment to their place of business, to their job, and to make that commitment to find ways to be passionate about what their job is, whether they're selling products, whether it's a service, whatever the case is. Be passionate, have fun, enjoy it, right? Find joy in your job and be loyal to that business. So, my connection is going up and down. I apologize. I'm not sure who's really watching and who's not. I see Gary, and Michael so far. You'll just have to go back and do me the favor of watching the playback. But when you're talking about employee engagement, it's twofold. It's the employee. So the employee has to make a commitment to where they're at or go somewhere where they'll be happy, satisfied, find joy, find passion, and then be loyal to that place, committed to doing their job and the position that they were hired for. And then the second part is that they have to, the employees that work for the employer, the manager, the administration has to be aware that with a job market busting at the seams, people aren't afraid of losing their job. People aren't afraid of going somewhere else either. People are looking for what will engage them. And society changes a lot, right? Technology changes a lot. And so that's changing our minds on what actually engages us, what actually we're committed to, what we're loyal to, and what we're passionate about. Employers have to get on the same level as their employees. So that's a brief look of scratching the surface of what employee engagement is. And again, I don't have all the answers of how to increase the levels of employee engagement. Forbes says that only 32% of all businesses, all employees at a business, are engaged. And I believe that's true. And I'll talk a little bit more tomorrow about some other opinions that I have. But think about this as employee engagement. If you're an employee, what can you do to increase your own passion, your loyalty, your commitment to your business? It is a two-way street. It's not just your employer that's supposed to do those things for you. And if you're an employer or manager, owner, supervisor, what things can you do to increase engagement or increase commitment, loyalty, and passion in your employees? So at the end of the day, the bottom line is everybody comes to work to make money, and the business wants to make profit or make money. So it's something that everybody's on the same team working for the same goal. That might be the answer to one of them: identify mutual goals. But again, I apologize for the network connection. I don't know what the deal is. Verizon's letting me down, I guess. But hopefully you can go back and watch the playback. And stay tuned. Tomorrow, I'll come back and share some more statistics on employee engagement, some more opinions as well. I'm Jonathan Sewell, sales at Bondi's Enterprise Toyota. Thank you for joining me on this weird day of weather and storm possibly coming, and maybe it's affecting the cell towers, who knows? Or maybe it's just my phone, or maybe it's just my luck. Who knows? Of course, I'm coming back on with a connection available at the end. But I'm Jonathan Sewell, sales at Bondi's Enterprise Toyota. Please go back and watch the playback if you missed a bunch, because I think you did. I think for like 8 minutes I was just talking to myself. So go back and watch the playback on employee engagement, what it is, and how the two challenges, if you're an employee Find ways that you can be more committed, passionate, and loyal to your business. And if you're the employer, facilitate for your employees ways that they can be more committed, passionate, and loyal. This is my Midday Minutes where passion and purpose collide regardless of network connection, regardless of if you can hear me. I hope you'll go back and watch this. And again, everybody's either an employee or an employer, even if you're on your own business. You're trying to increase profit, increase dollars and cents coming. So apply it to your life. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad and hope everybody had a blessed weekend. Now it's time to get to work. I'll see you tomorrow.